It's time for another pop date with Mumbles and Mr. Dancer. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles and Dancer Pop Dates. Guys, on today's episode of Mumbles and Dancer Pop Dates, we are going to talk about parvovirus and what Dancer unfortunately had to go through with his sickness. I'm going to give you guys the basic idea behind parvovirus and some signs that you can look for to make sure that your dog doesn't have it. So, guys, we're going to get into that. I'm going to go put Dancer down and we're going to start up this video. On today's episode of Mumbles, we are talking about parvovirus. It's a very important thing to me since Dancer recently had it. For those of you that don't know the story, Dancer recently contracted parvo. Even though he had all of his shots, he was up to date on everything, he still got parvovirus. So on today's episode of Mumbles, I want to kind of bring you not only my experience, but some of the symptoms you can watch for and why it is so important in this year of 2020 that you pay attention to your animal. If there's any sickness or anything, that you get them to the vet right away. So I'm going to kind of recount my story and explain some stuff to you guys. So here we go. Guys, first thing that you need to know is that parvovirus is basically an infectious gastrointestinal disease. Now, guys, this is a disease that is not one to be played with. This isn't a disease where your dog gets sick in 2 days, 2 days they're better. No, this is a disease that causes intestinal bleeding. It can literally make your dog bleed to death if it goes untreated. So it is not a disease you want to play around with. If you suspect your animal or dog has this virus, get them to the vet right away. So guys, now in Dancer's case, he had all of his puppy shots. We kept up to date with them. And so when we were told he had parvovirus, we were very much taken off guard. Almost unbelievable so, because, we're so careful with Dancer. Guys, now our vet said that there are 2 possible causes for Dancer catching parvovirus. Number 1, Dancer's body didn't take the shots correctly. Now, I'm not saying that they were given incorrect or anything like that. Some dogs, unfortunately, with the shots, they just don't build up any antibodies. It's just the way their bodies work. And so when they do come in contact with even a little bit of parvovirus, they catch it. Now, the second more likely case is that something walked through our backyard and gave Dancer parvovirus. Now, in normal years, this would not matter. However, we are in the year of 2020. Now, just to preface this, the parvovirus vaccine has not been updated in many years. So there are strains of parvovirus out there that are not covered by the vaccine, even though they don't tell you about that. Now, with it being the year 2020, and people not associating as much, them not going to parks, they're not going to these places where food could get left for wild animals and, where the wild animals would feed and things like that. Because of that, these wild animals are coming closer and closer to civilization each day, looking for food, looking for water, looking for all that kind of stuff that they once could get in a park or wherever it is that they got that stuff. So our vet believes that it is possible that Dancer actually contracted this virus from our own backyard by one of these stray wild animals coming into our backyard, whether it be a squirrel, a possum, a cat, or any of those type of animals came into our backyard, walked in there, Dancer walked there, sniffed it, got it. And it's that simple, guys. It literally was nothing we could have done about it because it just happened. You don't know that kind of stuff is in your yard and it's just there. So that is the most likely source that Dancer got this from. Now, again, I do want to re-emphasize that the parvovirus vaccine, Dancer was up to date on it, but they are older. They don't cover for some of the more newer strains that are out there in the world. Some of these strains that are heavier. Some of these strains that can come from these wild animals. So guys, those are the 2 ways that Dancer could have got parvovirus. And my vet feels it's more likely that it is the second case in Dancer's situation because he's in fantastic health. No reason to think that the shots didn't take. Now, I did some research on this because I knew I wanted to do this video for you guys because it's very important. So I wanted to look and see what the, parvovirus rates were this year. One of the main providers in animal health care for dogs out there, known as Blue Pearl, who has over 90 pet hospitals spread throughout 21 states, has reported a 70% increase in parvovirus this year over last year. Now, this can be attributed to a lot of different things. Maybe the vaccine's not working as good. Maybe it is because of the wild animals that are coming through people's backyard. But the fact of the matter is 70% increase. So whether or not your dog has had their shots, it's possible that they could get parvovirus. Now, I don't want to scare anyone, but I also now at this point am going to make you guys aware of the actual symptoms of parvovirus. So those symptoms can include vomiting, diarrhea that is bloody, loss of appetite, fever, and their dog being lethargic. Guys, if you see any indication that your dog has parvovirus, or you see any of these signs, please do not mess around with it. Take your dog into the vet as soon as possible. Guys, we got Dancer to the vet within 24 hours of him starting vomiting. We were hoping that it was just, we didn't know anything about this. So we were hoping that, maybe he just was having an off day, didn't feel good. And he vomited, and then he vomited again, and then he vomited that night, and we knew we had to take him. We knew we had to take him after the second vomit, but we just couldn't get there because the vet was closed by then. So we got him in there as soon as the vet doors opened, 24 hours, and I do believe that it saved his life getting him in there so soon. Guys, most deaths from parvovirus occur within the first 48 to 72 hours. So getting him in there in 24 hours was very essential to his recovery. Guys, the other thing is that the reason you want to get them in there so quickly is because with parvovirus, unfortunately, there isn't a certain medicine that they can give them to cure parvovirus. The most they can do is provide supportive measures. So the virus kind of has to run its course. So while it's running its course, your vet will probably want to give them supportive measures, make sure they're getting their fluids, make sure they're getting their food, make sure they're getting medicine to help reduce vomiting and stuff like that. So you want to get them in there ASAP so that kind of stuff can get started so they don't end up, becoming dehydrated and passing away as a result of that. So guys, I will stress one final time. If you see any of those symptoms in your dog, any at all, even if you're not sure, even if you think, well, there's no way it could be that, please take your dog to the vet immediately. Do not mess around with this disease. We almost lost Dancer. I don't want to hear about anyone losing their dog because, they didn't see the signs or whatever it is. Please do not mess around with this disease. It is not a fun disease. It made Dancer very, very weak, very, very tired, very, very just not himself. And I could tell even when he was in the vet that he was struggling a lot. So please do not mess around with this virus. I hope this helps you guys. I hope this helps save. Even if it just saves one dog's life, it is worth it to me. So guys, this has been my experience with the parvovirus and some of the symptoms and things that you can do to help it. I hope this helps. And now I'm going to go get Dancer so we can finish up this video. Guys, now as with every week, now that we've talked about all the serious stuff, we do have some pup in play. Wanted to get this pup in play to you guys because I want you to see how good Dancer's doing. He's feeling good. He's still not 100%, but he's doing much better, and here he is. Anyways, guys, this has been another episode of Mumbles and Dancer Updates. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Please smack that subscribe button, smack the like button, and smack all those buttons. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.